So we have a car repossession. Got the repo man coming, turned deadly. And that was because a cop was called and we had an interaction take place. But before we get into the rest of this video, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave a comment down below with this video and also like and subscribe. And if you would like to support me, I would appreciate it if you could just hit the thanks button down below and help your girl out. But let's get into this video. It says black man's truck repossessed moments after he was gunned down by Alabama cops. Home security video showed a repo truck callously hauling away an Alabama man's truck as he lay dying in his front yard after being shot by the police. Wow. Steve Perkins, 39 years old, was slain by an officer September 29th outside his Decatur home after a tow truck driver who had arrived to repossess his truck told police he had threatened him with a gun. Okay, so as we've seen, you know, you got like the Dog the Bounty Hunter, you got the Repo Man shows that was like on A&E and all these other networks and channels. And you see how they get violent. Okay, I've seen even just other shows that have been on YouTube, you know, people doing their own kind of thing, and this stuff could get kind of wild. Okay, I've seen ones where people pull out guns. I've seen ones where, you know, people trying to fight you, and repos, they got to get in and get out because we don't know. Okay, the people, it's one thing if you're like, well, I'll give my pillow as collateral, but it's another thing when it's like, now I gotta get my car. Well, okay, how am I gonna get to work? How am I gonna get to the bar? How am I gonna get over here? How am I gonna go see my baby mama? How am I gonna do anything? You know what I mean? So that's where it becomes a huge deal. Okay, but let's continue. Police said Perkins, the one who died, had also pointed a gun at the officer, who repeatedly fired 18 shots at the man, hitting him 7 times. Wow. The shooting happened after Perkins exited his home at night with the flashlight. Police and the driver said he mounted a gun on the flashlight, a claim which could not be verified by watching the footage. Okay, so they said police and the driver, the repo man, okay, said that he also had a gun. They said they couldn't verify it, but I looked at a little, like they had images of the surveillance camera and footage, and it looked kind of grainy. So I think that's probably why they were not able to verify it, because it looked, you couldn't really tell what was going on anyways. Okay, but let's continue. On November 4th, new home security footage from a neighbor across the street emerged depicting Perkins' truck callously being towed as he fought for his life. So as the guy is laying there dead or dying, his car, the repo man's like, well, I still got a job to do. Okay, riddled with gunshots on his own property. In the clip, Perkins is lying on the ground as 2 people who appear to be police officers stand over him and pat him down. The spokesperson for Perkins' family said he was ambushed by police, who gave him less than a fraction of a second to comply with instructions to get on the road before opening fire. Doorbell camera video showed from the immediate footage that we're seeing, it looked like an ambush of him not even knowing who was in his yard. They were in uniform, but it was a very dark neighborhood. No police cars were in front of the house. They were parked down the street, hiding in neighbors' yards. So, and hiding around the house. So that's also a thing. So the guy, he comes, he sees his car being repoed. Okay, but this is, it's like I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, can I be on his side? How, you know, I'm just looking at what's happening. So from my understanding, it looked like repo man came. Perkins was like, you ain't taking my car. If you got 2 people saying that it happened, okay? And repo men, you know, I'm not saying that they're lying or anything like that, you know, but usually if they're saying, yo, someone pulled a gun out of me, it usually is true. So he then says, yo, there's a gun. Ring, ring, ring. 911. This fool got a gun. So he has his gun. Repo man's trying to come. Police officers, put your gun down. He doesn't do it. And this is the kind of stuff that happened. His car was parked all the way. The police officer's car was parked all the way down the street. So he didn't know, but I'm kind of like, maybe he did. I mean, you would have had to know that somebody was going to be coming. but let's continue. Okay. It says they were parked down the street, hiding in the neighbor's yard, hiding around the house. Susan Capps, 62 years old, who lives across from Perkins' residence, said, she also said, I stood outside the whole time and I saw them pat him down. I did not see them render any first aid. All I kept hearing was put the gun down, and Perkins was on the ground. So even though video footage did not confirm, okay, he didn't have a gun, she's even said he had a gun. The police officer said he had a gun, and the repo man said he had a gun. Okay. This is just one of those things, before I continue, where it's like, if you know that there is a gun, if you know that there's a police officer, put your weapon down. Okay. Just put your weapon down, because it's going to be much harder for you to say, well, police officer was doing this and doing that, if you got the gun out, y'all. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they got the gun and they got the badge. So people are going to believe them over you. Oh, but social media and the outcry. And this person may get administrative leave, and they'll be back on the job, and you're dead in the ground. You know what I mean? But let's continue. And then I heard an officer call and say he needed an ambulance ASAP. And then a little later, I heard him say he's out. Adding that the ambulance was in quote unquote no hurry to arrive. Okay, he's dead. The neighbor also said that when she called the police officer to her porch after the shooting and asked him if Perkins was okay, he lied and said he's fine. So this is also one of those things where it's like, now you could say, well, she just being nosy, but it's also one of those things where it's like, ambulance there, you ain't got to worry about rushing. So it's also one of those things where it's like, yeah, certain people shouldn't be in certain positions. That's all I'm saying. Perkins was remembered by Capps as a good man who always watched out for her. He helped me, this is what she said, in so many ways. I fell out in the front yard from my diabetes. He came over running and picked me up like I didn't even weigh a feather. One time he took me to urgent care because I had fallen and hit my head, and I was trying to get to the truck to drive myself there. He knew something was wrong. Perkins worked for a pet food manufacturer, J.M. Schmuckers, and I know why black people, I always got to add an S to everything. Schmuckers. And was married with 2 teenage children. He had no prior record aside from a DUI arrest more than a decade ago. The unidentified officer who killed Perkins was put on leave amid an internal investigation. Of course, that's what always happens. They always put you on leave. These kind of instances, was it excessive in the part of the police officer to fire 18 shots? Yeah. Okay, you missed 11 of them. Who's to say that they didn't hit somebody or could have hit somebody? You know what I mean? So that's one of those, not being a good shot and just being trigger happy in that case, because there was no reason to really do that, in my opinion, to shoot 18. You know what I mean? 5, 3, okay, but 18, a whole clip. You know what I mean? So that right there, to me, it was just like, okay, that was a bit excessive on your part, but all this stuff wouldn't have happened if we didn't have all these additional issues that were going on with people, thinking that they could essentially buck up the cop because, they're them, and thinking that the badge and the gun doesn't have any significance in it, but let me know what you all think about the story down below. Hello. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would appreciate if you could leave a comment down below, and also do not forget to like and subscribe. I would also appreciate if you could support me at latricelimited.com. This is my own personal small business where I sell bath and body wellness items, such as I have bath bombs, I have soaps, candles, essential oil blends, sleep eye masks, and a whole bunch more. I'm actually going to show you 2 featured products. So this one is my candle. Okay, this is my vanilla wood wick candle. As you can see, there's wood in there, and it gives a nice crackling sound. It's like a bonfire, campfire, but in your house, yo. Smells so freaking good. This, my sweet roses, are my top scents for me personally. I also have soap. So this one right here is this nice cool water soap that I have. It's more of a masculine, sexy scent. So I would greatly appreciate if you could go and support me. And now I hope you have a good day.